everybody, and welcome to part 13 of my F1 2019 Road to Glory career mode. It is time for the Hungarian Grand Prix. Last time out, we were at the Hockenheimring in Germany, where we had one hell of a comeback drive. We crashed the car in qualifying, started dead last, made up 5 places on the opening lap before being spun around by Carlos Sainz, dropping us right back. Very last, well, right to the very back of the grid, should I say. We were dead last in that race. We were 10 seconds behind everyone, and we came through. And on the final lap, we overtook Kevin Magnussen to finish P8. So 4 more valuable points for the team then. And yeah, one hell of a comeback drive. It was a shame we crashed in qualifying. I feel like we could have got a lot more out of the German Grand Prix last time out. It's a circuit I like. It's a circuit the car felt good at, but we just caught a big slide in qualifying, and then we couldn't save it. We had a massive accident. But though, moving on to this Grand Prix, to the Hungarian Grand Prix, then we sit third in the driver's standings. No idea how we're pulling that one off. And then also third in the constructors' standings. We're still ahead of Red Bull, still ahead of Racing Point. So this halfway mark of the season, now the car's a lot more competitive, I think we have to try and stay ahead of Red Bull if we can. Maybe I think we definitely aim for top 4 in the constructors. Drivers' standings, I don't really know. I think that's going to fluctuate so much. I mean, look at the points difference between me and Valtteri Bottas. Absolutely nothing in it there. 14 points between us. That's 1/3 place finish for Valtteri Bottas. And then me not to score points, and Bottas is back ahead. But we're going to move into the Hungarian Grand Prix. Now, this is a circuit that I'm not a huge fan of, I will be honest, but I've been experimenting with some new setups, so hopefully we're a bit more competitive this time out. I mean, it can't get much worse than it went in the German Grand Prix qualifying, can it? It cannot get much worse than that at all here. We've got to take a little bit of fuel out, though, because I was testing this in a quick race, so we'll have to resave that. But we're going to go to track. I'm going to mute, guys, and I'll speak to you afterwards on the lap. Let's go. Okay then, it's going to be P8 for us on the, oh sorry, P9 for us on the grid there. We had that big slide just up through turn 5 there. If we hadn't have had that, I think we could have been a little bit further ahead there. And yeah, Kimi Räikkönen then P7. So the car does have some fairly decent pace around this track then, which is always good. We've got to stay out of trouble this race though, hopefully bring home some more points. Obviously last race, um, you know, the crash and qualifying put us right in the thick of it. We were right at the very back of the grid. So we're gonna have to see, you know, if we can stay out of trouble this Grand Prix. Hopefully we can, but the only problem is we're gonna have cars behind us and in front of us this time. We start dead in the middle of the pack here. So we're gonna have to see what we can do. But hopefully it's gonna be another solid race in front of us. I'm looking forward to this one. Now I know the car doesn't feel too bad. Um, that slide through turn 5, that was totally on me. Just took way too much of the inside curb. The car catches the wheel on it, and as soon as you catch that wheel, the car spins here. But we're elevated a place. We are elevated into P8, which means somebody has taken a grid penalty. Now, I wonder if we just really quickly take a peek at the race director, who that could be. Oh, I mean, I guess you'd have to say it's probably Charles Leclerc in the Ferrari car. Sorry, I reckon he's taken a 5th place grid penalty. Yeah, it seems like the most likely candidate. So I'll say we got Leclerc with a 5-place grid penalty then. But when the 5 red lights go out, we will be underway for the Hungarian Grand Prix. And it is go there. The lights were not held for very long here. It's been a very decent start from us indeed. And we're going to try and cut across the front of Carlos Sainz there. We do that. We are up then into P7 before the first corner there. But Kimi Raikkonen is going to cut us off here. Is he going to leave us space in the exit? No, he's not. Luckily, we back out of the corner. But we are up into P7 then. So we're already ahead of Carlos Sainz there. That's a good start. This is, I think, where the car needs to be right now. You know, we need to be leading the rest of the field here. Obviously, you're going to have the Ferraris, the Red Bulls, and the Mercedes cars in front of us. But I think as long as we're right behind those, we can get through there. There's been some contact in front of us there, a big bit of carbon fibre flew. And I wonder if that's off Sebastian Vettel's Ferrari then. The Red Bull and the Mercedes car were going side by side here, but I think Vettel has just taken a chunk out the back of his, taken a chunk out the back of the Red Bull and a chunk out of his front wing here. And it would seem like it if Vettel does not seem to have the front downforce here, so I wonder if we're going to get an early pit stop and front wing change from Sebastian Vettel, which would put us into P6 and P5 then. So a really, really decent start here actually around the Hungaroring. This car feels amazing to drive around this circuit. It feels really, really nice and hooked up here. I did not expect Raikkonen to break that early way through that corner. That almost caught us out here. Is Vettel going to pit? No, he's not. Okay, so it is crucial then we have to get past Sebastian Vettel, because if not, he is going to be holding us up here. Well, we had fairly decent pace on the opening lap to try and stay with the Red Bull car. We need to get past Vettel, so we stick with those Red Bulls. This is crucial here, as I think Raikkonen may be trying to eye up a move here. If Raikkonen doesn't get him, I think we're going to have to try and get past Kimi Raikkonen and the red Ferrari car as well. I keep calling it a Red Bull, I don't know why. We are going to have to try and get past the Ferrari car then as well here. I mean, yeah, look, he is dropping so much time here to the Red Bulls in front and the Mercedes cars in front here. But yeah, another nice clean start then for us. It's a very decent start as well though. We just got the power down and got away. We could have challenged Raikkonen in the first corner there, but his defence was very good. But it's crucial here. We have to get past Raikkonen and Vettel because they are costing us serious time in this race here. We need to try and find a way past on Kimi. I think I know where I'm going to do it. I think not this corner, not the corner after, but this, you have a little straight and then a heavy braking zone here. I think is where we're going to have to try and overtake Raikkonen here. We're going to get the run off the corner. We are going to dive to the outside then. Are we going to take the place off Kimi Raikkonen? Yes, we are. We are up into P6 then. Raikkonen promoted into 7th, or should I say demoted into 7th here. But it's going to be Sebastian Vettel in front of us here. We need to make a move. We need to be punchy with Sebastian Vettel, and we need to see what we can do.
Okay, entering lap 3 now. DRS has been enabled.
Okay, so we are now on to lap 3 then of the Hungarian Grand Prix. That's a long turn too. It's a difficult left-hander there. If you touch that inside curb, it can really mess you up here. But the uphill turn 4 is often a place for chaos, as we saw here with Vettel breaking his front wing. We need to get past Sebastian Vettel here. We're going to do it round the outside of turn 5 here. We were brave there, but we had to back out because Vettel was going to force us off the road. But I mean, it's confidence inspiring when we, you know, when we're trying to go for moves like that. That's just how we know this car is good. I mean, I know the car in front is losing a lot of front downforce and has front wing damage, but still, we just know the car's good here. Look at the mini map though. Look how much we're dropping off the back of the Mercedes and the Red Bull cars, and this is crucial for us. We needed a P4 finish today to complete our team goal here, and I don't think we're going to do it unless one of the cars go bang in front of us here. But I think we're going to have to use DRS. We're going to have to use as much of our engine modes as possible and try and push past Sebastian Vettel here, as we are talking of pushing there. We are almost pushing him through the final corner, but we're going to get on the throttle here. We're going to get the engine modes. We're going to get the DRS. We are going to get the slipstream here. Is Raikkonen going to try to follow us through? Raikkonen's going to try for a dive up the inside here, I think. I've got a car either side of me as we go into turn 1 there, but Raikkonen will drop back behind Vettel here, but I think he is going to try and have a go here at Sebastian Vettel, and hopefully Raikkonen can dispatch of him here. It'd be good for us if he can. But we are now in clean air here. We just have to do what we can to push here. We're going to stay for a pit stop on lap 6. To be fair, the tyres don't feel too bad here, but you know us, we are going to always try and go for a cheeky undercut. But yeah, good to get past there. Raikkonen is now through as well. So if Vettel can carry on holding up the rest of the pack, that would be great for me and Kimi, as we are on now for P5 and P6, 18 more points then, as it stands in this race. Obviously, we've lost out on quite a few points this season. Spain, Hockenheim, um, Raikkonen's DNF in China. Obviously, all places where we could have scored a lot of points if we'd have, you know, well, had the luck for starters. I mean, Spain was a bit self-inflicted. Obviously, the disqualification from qualifying was nothing to do with us here, but, you know, the contact with Hulkenberg on the final lap, I mean, the contact with Perez, obviously, twice in that race we made contact with Sergio Perez. He pushed us off the road on lap 1 and then broke our front wing on lap 5. I still think neither of those were our fault, but definitely the collision with Hulkenberg was. I mean, you know, we were just a bit too hot-headed. We tried to make the move to P9 there. We should have settled for P10 that race. We would have scored a point, but we ended up walking away with nothing from that one after a last lap spin, and we almost got overtaken by our main rival at the time, Sergio Perez. But anyway, that's the Spanish Grand Prix. This is the Hungarian Grand Prix here. We are losing around a second a lap to Max Verstappen here. So I think here we just need to try and drive as hard and as fast as we can, like we have done recently, especially at that old German Grand Prix there. We almost, you know, skip the curbs there a lot through that corner. You can really go over them. It's great here. It gains you a lot of time. As you can see now, we're pulling away from Kimi Raikkonen. But we are going to pull into the pit lane this lap then. Lap number 5, we're going to box here. And obviously it's a personal best, sector 2 there. We've gained actually 0.2 of a second on Max Verstappen this lap. But we're going to pull the car into the pit lane then on lap number 5, and it will be beginning lap number 6 then when we exit the pit lane. Although the tyres feel okay, I just know how powerful undercuts are on this game here. So we are going to go for a cheeky undercut at the Hungarian Grand Prix, like we do at every single race. And if you didn't see the short we posted last night, big news for us then. We have signed for Ferrari for next season. We will be moving to the Scuderia team for season 2 of My Road to Glory. Hopefully we can get some good results in there. I believe we should be able to. But I'm very much looking forward to season 2 though. But this season is all that matters to us at the moment here. We've got to still show Ferrari that we are worthy of that seat. And it is lap 6 of the 18 laps then we have ahead of us at the Hungarian Grand Prix there. We're 1/3 of the way through this one here. With a car going slowly, I believe it's a racing point car it looks like. I think it is a racing point in front of us. Antonio Giovinazzi seems to be slow in there. And that's another Mercedes engine then going bang. Obviously it was Bottas last week. Final lap, he was leading the race. But we have a VSC out here and this could hurt us. If cars decide to pit under this VSC, this could be a big pain in our side. Hopefully no one's going to decide to pit here, but if we'd have just left it one lap later, we could have had a very cheap pit stop here. But it doesn't look like anyone's going to pit. So that is good there. I'm surprised there that no one is pitting there. But we have to maintain a positive delta, obviously. Don't want to repeat of Azerbaijan. If you see that episode, we got caught speeding under the VSC. That hurt us a lot during that Grand Prix. But we still ended up recovering for another P4 finish. I think we've had a lot of good recovery drivers this season. I think Spain was another one. Despite not finishing points there, we finished P11. After starting last, being barged off the road, being spun around, and breaking our front wing there, we still finished P11. So, all in all, it was a fairly decent race there. We're catching up then to George Russell in the Williams car, but I don't think that's a surprise. The Williams car just has not been competitive yet this season. But yeah, hopefully we won't have to deal with Williams cars when we're in the Ferraris next season here. You know, I mean, I'm looking at the Ferraris this season, and I'm wondering maybe if it was the wrong move here. Both cars behind me and Kimi Raikkonen, obviously in this race. Vettel picking up that front wing damage, and Leclerc having to take the grid penalty, but neither of them seem to be moving off their current positions here. So this is going to hurt us big time on lap 7 of this Grand Prix here. And if the Ferraris don't move, then it's going to be big issues for us here. But we are chasing down George Russell. But yeah, as I was saying, the Ferraris are hopefully next year going to be more competitive. Because I don't want to move away, just as this team's getting good, to a team that's not competitive. But we'll see what happens at the end of the year with the contract negotiations. We are eyeing up though a seat for Ferrari in 2020. As I say, that's what that short was yesterday. If you saw it, we will be with Ferrari for next season, unless our contract falls through. But at the moment, it sounds we are with Ferrari here. Is the overcut going to work for us though? Well, we're going to be a lot closer to one of the Mercedes cars. In fact, that's Valtteri Bottas here. So yes, the overcut did work here. We've got DRS. I don't actually know who we've got DRS off, but I'll take it. It's probably when Russell, just before he dived into the pit lane. But it's helping us massively there because Bottas will not have the DRS, and we will there. Just for a few straights there, but it's the two longest straights on the circuit, so we will definitely take it. But I've gone to then lap 8 there through that turn 4, and then this turn 5 section here. Oh, it's beautiful. The car just dances through there. But Valtteri Bottas, though, in front of us, I mean, you had to feel from last time out, he was leading the Grand Prix. And then on the final lap of the race, while in the lead, his engine went up in smoke there. I mean, an absolute disaster of a race for Mercedes. Hamilton was then on to take the win, but then on the final lap, his engine started having issues too, and he got overtaken by Charles Leclerc there. The gap between me and Bottas is 2.3 seconds then. But yeah, Mercedes last time out, I feel, lost out on some big points here, as I think Leclerc has just got past Kimi Raikkonen as a year. I don't know, I think Leclerc has pitted in this Grand Prix. But yeah, Kimi Raikkonen then, being overtaken here by Charles Leclerc, as one of the Red Bulls are going to come out in front of Valtteri Bottas then. I don't know now if everybody has pitted. I think everyone has pitted here. We are at half race distance. We just need to push on as much as we can though in this race. You never know, we might be able to re-overtake Max Verstappen or Valtteri Bottas here. I think the cars are running third and fourth right now, but we just don't know the pace of this car. It seems pretty good here. I don't actually know if we are catching Valtteri or not. I mean, we lost 3/10 during there, but hopefully we can be all over the back of him come the end of this one. So yeah, really riding the curves through that chicane. Just going to try and push this car to the absolute limits here. It does feel really good around this track. This car, I think, as I say, I think Hockenheim last time out would have been a solid race there. We have gained time on Valtteri Bottas. In fact, 1.9 is now the gap. It was 2.6 at the start of this one, so we gained 7/10 of a second on him this lap. So yeah, if we can keep having laps like this, we will be on the back of Valtteri Bottas here in just a few laps time, and hopefully we will be able to pass him sooner rather than later as well there. 1.9, still the gap though at the front of the pack here. I believe though it is Lewis Hamilton that leads this one here. Not the first time we've heard Lewis Hamilton leading the Hungarian Grand Prix. One of his favourite circuits, in fact, one of his most successful tracks as well, obviously, just behind Silverstone, where he scored 9 Grand Prix victories there. An absolutely unbelievable record of 9 Grand Prix victories. And at your home race as well, to score 9 Grand Prix victories. That is, I mean, just what an achievement. 9 race victories. I was lucky to be there for his 9th one. Silverstone 24 there as we cut the corner a lot there. We carry way too much speed through the chicane. Forget curb hopping, that was more corner cutting, but it's okay there. We have 3 track limits warnings before it's a penalty. And that was our first, and I believe that was our first one of the season. So, as it stands, we're being a very good boy when it comes to track limits infringements. But yeah, I want to get this P4 though, because it'll be our team goal completed. And if you complete them, obviously you get some extra acclaim within the team, which makes it puts you in a stronger negotiating point there. Yeah, Lewis Hamilton, it is in first place then. Confirmed by our engineer there, but 2 seconds is the gap here. We've brought it down to 2 seconds, but we can't seem to do anything with it here. If we hadn't been held up by Sebastian Vettel for so many laps, maybe we could have been on the back of these guys there. Although you don't want to wish it on your fellow competitors, I'm just praying that one of the cars in front of us goes pop and hopefully would elevate us a position there. I'm giving it everything I can in this race here.
Keep managing your tyres.
To get
Manage your
past
tyres.
that.
Gap to the
We
car
want
in front is
very, very wide on the
2
curb
seconds.
there. Very wide on the curves indeed here. We've got the calmer approach here, and we still get track limits warning for that one. So every other time we've done that, we've been okay. So we really do need to just start calming down a little bit here, because one more track limits warning then, and it will be a 3-second time penalty for us, or a 5-second time penalty, I can't remember here. But we are gaining time though on Valtteri Bottas, which is crucial here, but we've just got to be careful we don't lose any time due to a penalty for track limits. That is obviously the goal in this one now, as Raikkonen's dropped behind Leclerc and behind Carlos Sainz. He's lost a lot of ground. So is Raikkonen suffering then with some kind of issue there? Let's just look how the McLaren's dropping him. I believe he is Raikkonen then, with some kind of issue in this one. Oh no, that would be an absolute disaster then for the team. He was running P6 here. We were on for P5 and P6 finish. Raikkonen though will now be running P8 in this one here, and he is just dropping time off the back of the McLaren here. What is going on with Kimi Raikkonen? The Ferrari, they're running into some kind of issue, it would seem. A disaster. Absolute disaster here for Kimi Raikkonen. But there, we skate through. We're going to be very well behaved through the chicane there. There we go. No more curb hopping in this one, I think. We're just going to focus on bringing it home now. All of a sudden we seem to be closing up onto the back of Valtteri Bottas here at a rate of knots. Hopefully we can actually get in there. 1.2 seconds is the gap here, so this is the closest we have been all race. And we just need to focus on being a little bit closer, getting into his DRS and trying to overtake him there. As Perez with an issue then in the Red Bull car, I said I would hope that someone in front of us would have an issue here. It's going to come for Sergio Perez. He does have some kind of mechanical fault as well here. So just as we start catching up to the back of Bottas then, and I mean, yeah, you can see how much Perez is dropping off the back here of the cars in front. Look, there is Sergio Perez just in front of the car that's in front of us. You can see all of a sudden how much time he is losing around this one. And oh, for Sergio Perez was on for his first podium with Red Bull. I believe will be his first podium of the Road to Glory series here, season 1. But for Sergio Perez, I don't think it's going to come for him unless, by some form of a miracle, he holds off Bottas until the end of this one here, which I think he's definitely going to struggle to do. Obviously, the two teammates in 2026 are Perez and Bottas down at Cadillac. But it looks like here it's going to be a feisty fight. Run a little bit wide through there. That's exactly what we've got to be careful not to do here, because we just don't know when it's going to spring up a penalty for us. So we have to be careful on that one there. Yeah, again we lock up through that one there a little bit wide. But yeah, the car does feel genuinely quite nice to drive around this track. I will be honest, this setup is working very well. But yeah, the car feels quite nice to drive there. We are just over a second away from Bottas here. If we can just gain a little bit more than this lap, we will have DRS. The only problem is now he's going to start having DRS on the back of Checo Perez. Yeah, we're pulling away from Leclerc then by 3 tenths a lap, and that's what I mean here. Alfa Romeo car seems pretty good against the Ferrari. But anyway, besides the point that we're going to push on if we lose 6 tenths to Bottas though. That's probably with a helping hand from that DRS that Bottas is pulling away from us there, and you can see how much time Checo Perez is losing here. Which is all a big slide for us there as we come out the corner here. I wonder if the tyres are starting to get a little bit warm though. Still, the car does not feel too bad to drive. But it is though lap 14 of 18. All over the back of Valtteri Bottas now here. Are both Red Bull cars running into problems? Because all of a sudden Verstappen seems to be getting a lot closer to us as well here. So Max Verstappen, Valtteri Bottas and Sergio Perez though, look, all seem to be now within a train of each other here. And the two Red Bull cars are going to swap positions, it would seem there, as there is now an overtake. So I wonder though, is that Perez maybe running in front of Verstappen? And is that the car with the issue? I wonder if it is here, but anyway, it's going to be dropped by Valtteri Bottas as well. Yeah, no, sorry, that is Sergio Perez. So, unless Verstappen had an issue as well here, because Bottas seems to be gaining quite a lot on him, But that then is Checo Perez in front of us. That's the car we need to overtake by the end of this race to finish P4 and get our team goal here. So Sergio Perez though, late race drama for him obviously, suffering that issue and losing 2 places then behind Bottas and Verstappen now. But as I say, Bottas seems to be catching Verstappen here, so whether or not Verstappen has an issue as well, it does seem to be like a big problem though in this Grand Prix for the 2 Red Bull cars. I don't know whether or not Bottas will actually get Verstappen here, but we're going to try and move on Sergio Perez though. We're going to take it around the outside. We are going to get the move done. He's still on our inside though. We make a little bit of contact with him there. We get pushed off the road, not the first time this season have we made a little bit of argy-bargy with Sergio Perez. But we are now through and up into P4 and we just need to hold this position and we will, you know, well, the team will be happy with us. We'll be happy with ourselves after another decent drive here. 2.2 seconds though is the gap to Valtteri Bottas. He is all over the back of Max Verstappen late on in the day. But I don't think, unless we gain a second a lap here, I don't think we'll be moving any further in this Grand Prix. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with another P4 finish. It's another decent result for the team if we get it, obviously. But Kimi Raikkonen, though, has still obviously dropped back a long way behind that McLaren car. So I wonder if there is something in the air in this Hungarian Grand Prix that is causing issues for cars, obviously. That's a Red Bull powertrain, a Ferrari powertrain, and a Mercedes powertrain, all running into issue, obviously. Giovinazzi in a racing point, Alfa Romeo with Antonio Giovinazzi, obviously Ferrari powered, and then the Red Bull car of Sergio Perez with that Honda engine in the back, giving him grief here. So the only engine that hasn't seemed to run into trouble for this race is the Renault powertrain, which is very surprising, if I do say so myself, because usually we, you know, do get issues with the Renault powertrain. It's not been the most reliable car this year, but in all fairness, it does have a race win. Daniel Ricciardo obviously won the Monaco Grand Prix in an absolutely shocking race. Make sure to go check that one out if you haven't seen it. But yeah, Daniel Ricciardo won for Renault in that Grand Prix here. So we've only pulled up 2/10 behind Bottas here. He's going to go for a move though on Max Verstappen. If these two start fighting, this could help us big time on lap 17 of 18 here. Remember, I don't want to do anything crazy as, yeah, we are just dropping Sergio Perez there as Leclerc now past Sergio Perez. So he could have been on for his first podium for Red Bull here. Instead, it's going to be right down the order for Sergio Perez here. Unfortunate stuff for the Mexican driver. I wonder though if the Red Bull car of Max Verstappen does have any issues in front here. But Bottas obviously overtakes Verstappen to make it a Mercedes 1-2 then. Hamilton is in a class of his own on this one now. I mean, you can just see how far ahead he is on the mini-map here. He has just dropped the clutch at the start of this race and then gone. He is off like a rocket ship. And yet again, I say, not the first time are we going to see a masterclass of a drive for Lewis Hamilton there. Leclerc 3.8 seconds behind us. So unless we make any big mistakes, we should have no threat from behind here. It's been a pretty decent race, this one. Another quiet one from us, I guess. You know, we kind of made a few moves here and there. We got lucky with Sebastian Vettel's front wing drama on the opening lap there, and he's going to finish right down the order. I don't know why Ferrari didn't replace that front wing or put a little bit more front downforce on when he came into the pit stop there, but he has dropped right down the back, and yet again Vettel will be scoring 0 points just like he did at the British Grand Prix. Yeah, it's been a tough one for Sebastian Vettel. And as I say, not the first time this season. Sebastian Vettel has finished more races outside the points this season than we have. Just a very interesting fact. We have finished every race in the points this season, apart from one, and that was Spain. The one race we didn't finish in the points, we were P11. So, you know, but for Vettel, he's going to be right down the order in this one. He was off the road in Silverstone with a spin. Can't remember if there's any other races, but he hasn't scored points. I feel like there is somewhere, I just can't remember it. But he's going to run the final corner though. Lewis Hamilton will win the Hungarian Grand Prix. Yet again, not for the first time are we saying that here. It looks like Valtteri Bottas will hold on to second place then to make it another Mercedes 1-2 here. Max Verstappen P3 for Red Bull, but we're going to pull it to the inside wall, and we're going to be very happy with a P4 finish. And another solid result for the team here. A nice comeback from Germany, obviously, where we really struggled in that Grand Prix there. But through no fault of our own, obviously, apart from the qualifying crash that was, you know, fully on us. But here we go then now. The Hungarian Grand Prix. We all finished P4. Kimi Räikkönen ends up P8 though, so yeah, he must have had some kind of issue. Lewis Hamilton, 12.8 seconds ahead of Valtteri Bottas. Fastest lap by 4/10. Unstoppable today is the only word I'd use against that Mercedes car. He's on 45 points clear of Sebastian Vettel here. We are 81 points behind Lewis Hamilton, but I highly doubt we'll be challenging for the championship here. We sit then P3 yet again in the Drivers and the Constructors Championship there. No change for us. I think Raikkonen lost a place to Carlos Sainz there, who I think scored a couple of points over him this one. But yeah, a great race.
Things looked close between you and your rival for a bit, but you came out on top, didn't you?
Great. Well, that's everything.
That is all the interview questions answered then. Our reputation has gone up with Alfa Romeo, which should make our contract a lot easier then. And hopefully we can get some moves done. Hopefully we can get a nice, good contract done then, ready for the rest of the season and ready for the Belgian Grand Prix here. We're going to do...
Great work. That's exactly
speed
the kind
through
of result
here.
I'm looking for.
I'm going to try and go for... aim for 10th, I reckon, in both of those. First driver, easy, easy. We'll try and do that there. We're just a bit over.
Let's try something
So
else.
we're going to go for none on that. We go for 1 or 2 upgrades per department there.
We're
Oh,
asking
we're
for too
just
much.
over still
We need
here.
to make some
So I think if we
compromises.
put that one to level 1
Our
here,
proposal has been
that's a
accepted.
lovely
The
contract
new
deal
contract
for
will
us.
take effect from the next race
And
weekend.
that will be ready for the Belgian Grand Prix then, our next episode here. We're going to flip through to the Belgian Grand Prix. Obviously, that's how we work around here. We start with qualifying, do the race. We go to the next Grand Prix, simulate practice, put the upgrades on if we can. And then, obviously, it'll be time for that Grand Prix in the next episode. But, yeah, as I say, we're just going to see if we can put these upgrades on. I have a lot of R&D points saved up here. But, yeah, another great race for us as a team there. Everything seems to go well. Development failures. Oh. Ooh, we might have some regulation changes next year. That would make things interesting going into the next one. But here we go, we're going into the next season, should I say, as we've had a failure. But we are going to try and max out our tyre wear upgrades. That'll be in time for the Russian Grand Prix. Get a brake upgrade on the car as well. And then if we get some engine power upgrades going for Italy, and we don't have enough time for the aero upgrades just yet here. We're going to simulate practice though and see what we can do. But we will have a look then to see if we can get some good perks, well, some good upgrades, should I say there. But that's a nice contract to sign though for us. We have a goal of P10, which, I mean, that's our goal pretty much all the time now, isn't it? Just finishing the points. We have to finish 15 championship points. I have a feeling we'll be able to do that one fairly easily there. We'll have front downforce on for Italy, and then we need one more rear downforce upgrade there. And that should move us ahead of Red Bull then in the standings here. But guys, that has been it for part 13 or part 12 of this episode. I can't remember. I'm very sorry. But that's been it though for the Hungarian Grand Prix. Another solid result again today. Decent qualifying and a beautiful race as well there. But guys, thank you very much for watching. If you have enjoyed this one, make sure to like and subscribe. But until next time, guys, cheers.